The land of China was strong, but in the end, this team of random characters managed to beat the mystical beasts and their dragon. Despite the trouble, they came out victorious. And now, it's time to move on to the next nation. Time to take this group of characters that the game have given us for free across the sea to the land where rain continues to fall and lightning strikes. May the almighty Raiden Shogun spare us, cause it's time to go to Inazuma. Hello everyone, I'm Tigris and welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of the starter / guarantee character challenge, where this time they're gonna head to Inazuma. As usual, I don't change the theme, so I'm just gonna briefly introduce them. The 4 characters are Xiangling, Barbara, Kaya, and Noelle. As usual, I don't change the theme because I want a bit of challenge in this challenge video, and since using the same character for all nations tends to make it a bit more difficult. Plus it does save a bit of resources from having to build all the characters, if I do have to spin every single time. Comment down below if you think I should change the character up, but note that this will take a bit more time to build them before I start a new challenge. Eventually though, I might do a randomized theme for every nation to make it a bit more fun, I guess. Given how I do these challenges, eventually I will have too many characters built anyway, making changing the theme comp every single time quite easy. For now, let's just stick with the same 4 characters. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. Starting off with our favorite group, that is not a hypostasis of course, which is the only one actually. When I saw the damage they are doing to the mechanical cube, I was like thinking one thing. Oh no, our damage is so low, how are we gonna fight everything else? Only to remember, this boss is very tanky with a lot of HP and defense. So yeah, this is not a very fair comparison for the other bosses. Still, the resistance on this boss is ridiculous. It's so hard to go through his defense because it's so tanky, and I can't believe I triggered his second phase twice in this fight. If you want an example of how you do cheap damage, this is a very good example. It's like trying to take a spoon to dig through a solid concrete wall. You get through eventually, but it's gonna take forever. Yet despite our ridiculously low damage on it, this fight actually took around 5 minutes. It just felt like forever though. So while my team slowly chipped away at this boss damage, I need to reveal some upsetting news. I know most of my viewers are waiting for my full videos, and those are the videos where I get the most views. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to pull for 5.8. I'm saving my pull for 6.0 where all the new knockout characters are coming out, and I'm still looking forward for Escoffier. Therefore, I'm going to save as much wishes for 6.0 as I possibly can, even if it means not pulling any for 5.8. Inazuma does pull my interest, but depending on how the other characters that are going to be released soon in the new version, she unfortunately isn't on my priority list. Plus, if I do want her later, I can pull her on her rerun. Citlali, however, did pull my interest, but I know if I pull for her, I might not get enough for Escoffier, especially if Escoffier get a rerun in 6.0. As for Mulani and Chaska, I do not need another DPS at the moment. I already have plenty of DPS and I actually need more supports. If Novelet do have a rerun, however, I do want him. Right now my strongest Hydro DPS is Yelan, and yeah, she is a sub DPS. Not like she couldn't have killed the Pyro Hypostasis in 30 seconds though. Come on Barbara, why are you taking forever here? Alright Barbara friend, don't be angry with me. This fight actually only took about 6 minutes, I'm just being dramatic. 6 minutes is actually the average time for this team. Especially for a boss where you can only attack for a few seconds every time it goes down. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to pull for any characters in 5.8. Instead, I'm going to be focusing on collecting and farming, right up to 6.0 I guess. As well as building a few characters like, remember the Yoimiya that I got from my Kazuha video? Yep, she's still level 1. She alone would take about 10 days to farm for. Plus, remember the short video where I posed which C6 4-star should I build? Yeah, there are quite a few there that I plan to build. Kachina and Lanyan actually have priority. Cheverus as well. Kirara, who I recently C6 from the standard banner, will also be on that list because I only have 4 Dendro characters that are currently built. Well, it's more like 2 build, 2 half build. The 2 build is of course Tignari and Nahida, while Kole and Yao Yao is actually at level 70. I think Kaveh will eventually join the list because that's the only 5 Dendro characters that I actually have. I debated Baishu, but I do not need a healer when my main character cannot be healed. As for Aoihitam and Kinish, I do not need another DPS. As for Emily, Ali actually do better with Vaporize anyway, as well as Melt. So even if I do pull any of them, it will be simply because they are Dendro. In other words, they are not worth my pulls right now. Eventually I might pull a few of them. For now, they are not really necessary. What I want is another 4-star Dendro character, so I can save my pull and give me a good reason to build another character. More Dendro support will be amazing, especially for Kaching. Now I mentioned in the standard banner character challenge, Kaching is amazing with aggravate. Tignari is not the best partner for it, but for any Dendro support, she will be amazing. I have Nahida, but in the imaginary turtle, the more Dendro support you have, the better. To those who are wondering why Noelle is here, let's say I decided to change something. Normally I wouldn't do this, but sorry Ningguang, she had to borrow your goblet for a while. Time for DPS Noelle to shine. I realize I keep using Noelle to attack during their cooldowns anyway. I ever give her a chance to do more damage. She actually does quite decent geo damage during her burst, so might as well take advantage of it. And while her normal attack doesn't seem much, her final hit do hurt a lot, occasionally more than even Kea. Of course Barbara's bubbles are doing more damage, but that's a very occasional thing. Barbara's normal attack are basically in the double digit. Not something I actually want to see very often. This is probably one of the few things where you can basically hack Kenki, because he's gonna have a hard time killing you. His hit still hurt though, like really hurt. But Barbara healing is actually very efficient here. The fight surprisingly only took about 2 minutes, but with me chasing him around it feels so annoying. The problem with this boss is he's always invulnerable and he runs around a lot. So in the abyss where you are short on time, he is a problem. But in the open world where time is not an issue, all you need is a good healer and a shield. And you're gonna take him down eventually. I know people are saying you can dodge his attack, but I gotta tell you his attack is very unpredictable. So it's gonna take some time to learn how to dodge his attack. Next up is the Hydro Hypostasis. I got annoyed at myself for a bit here. After doing this damage, the boss actually healed all the damage back because I forgot about the healing climb. That ticked me off. Not making that mistake again. Other than that, this fight wasn't an issue. Fun fact, I actually marked the shortcut entrance to this boss, because I used to always use the long way. I also marked the shortcut entrance to the Drake, so I don't get lost again. Despite how this boss kept dodging my attack, this fight actually took around 2 minutes. Because once I managed to land a hit, the HP does go down really fast. First we must land the hit though. See, that only took about 20 seconds. Now all I have to do is finish the 3 slime, which is... oh, you can see. I think I missed the last one. Well, back to square one. No worries, this won't take long. Just a few more hits and we'll be done. As for the final slime, Kea can handle the last one. Next up is a painful old friend. This boss actually do hurt if he hit us. Problem for it, he doesn't hit us very often. Its attack have a bit of a delay, so you can notice where it's gonna come from. I'm not very good at dodging it, but I have seen players dodge every single one of his attacks. As for me, I don't really need to dodge it. I have Barbara. What am I dodging it for? I don't use Barbara very often against cryo bosses because she gets me wet. But other than that, Barbara is actually a really good healer. She is just very annoying to use when you have cryo on the board. Other than that, don't ignore Barbara, especially C1 Barbara. She actually helps with energy regen a lot. She is also very useful against a lot of other elements except for cryo, because she turns not only herself wet but also the opponent wet the whole time. While getting vape and electro charge on yourself is dangerous sometimes, she just heals through the pain, so it's not much of an issue. Cryo however freezes her, so that is kind of annoying. Like I mentioned before, I do want C6 Barbara. And this next boss is another boss that Barbara really shines. Being able to heal through bleeding and also being a catalyst user is very important for this boss. In some situations, especially like this one, Barbara actually outshines Mona by a lot. This fight honestly took about 4 minutes, but that is mainly because I couldn't hit it most of the time. It keeps staying in the air. Other than that, it honestly wasn't that bad. Of course, I wouldn't even dream of one facing this boss that I normally do, because yeah, the damage is still not there. I'm honestly just shielding up because I'm so used to it. Shielding against this boss is kinda useless because bleeding applies no matter what. Okay, time for Barbara to shine. Phase 2 coming up. Noelle's skill is also very useful here, because one skill takes about 3/4 of the wolf head. I honestly would have saved Noelle burst for this, but then the DPS won't be there at all, because her burst does a ton of damage to the boss. And because Noelle's energy recharge is so low, she's not gonna get her burst back very often. I need to save it whenever I can, to do the biggest damage. Taking a bit extra time to knock it down isn't that bad. Like I said, the fight wasn't that long anyway. It took longer to hit it than to actually defeat it, because the moment I could hit it, he's down for. Come down here, you freaking wolf! Stay down! My mind was thinking, are you kidding me when I was recording this? Look at the boss HP. It's barely there! Next up, the last of the open world boss. And to my honest truth, I hate this too. I barely do any damage to them, even with full burst. They are super tanky and they hurt like crazy. Remember how I said I accidentally used a revival food in the last video? One that I deemed unnecessary? Well, it's again this boss that I actually used food. Because, ow! Their damage hurts real bad. And even with the shield, Noelle is taking a beating. Normally against the cryo boss, I will never use Barbara, because I do not want to be frozen. But for this boss, if I did not use Barbara, I think I'm gonna die. All the other characters would have died a long time ago if I didn't use Barbara here. I do not know why they hurt so bad, that even the weekly boss don't hurt that bad. And they apply bleed. Bleed that hurt even through constant healing. Plus I have to constantly make sure I'm doing the same amount of damage to both of them, so I don't get stun locked in their final attack phase. This fight is the longest one in Inazuma, with over 6 minutes. Yes, it's even longer than the previous boss's fight, and even longer than the weeklies. It is also the first boss that actually claimed a life that is not accidentally made by me. Let's be honest, the Kea death in the last one was an accident. A mistake caused by me. Poor Noelle really suffered a lot in this fight. Especially now that I made her main DPS, she has to be on field most of the time. So she's taking the brunt of the damage. On hindsight, I probably should have changed her weapon to either Serpent Fire or Black Cliff, but I still want those double shields. so I decided not to change the weapon. She is fine with the sack. Most of her damage comes from her burst anyway. Having the sack great sword on her at least get her burst charged faster. By the way, I accidentally killed the purple one here. That was a mistake. Luckily, it didn't take long to finish the blue one afterward. Otherwise, I would be in trouble. I feel bad for Noelle in this fight because she's constantly on life support. Luckily for her, Barbara is on the team. And there we go. This should do it, and next is the weak list. Next up, Signora. Rosaline, oh Rosaline. I do not know whether I mentioned this before in a video, but I always feel like Hoyoverse actually cheated out on this poor character. I feel like they killed her too early. She actually does have an interesting backstory though. And no, I don't think she beat Venti fair and square. Venti clearly let her get the advantage over him. I'm not much of a lore YouTuber, but I do read the lore. Then again, Venti is famous for holding back. Now that's another mysterious character. As for Signora, I hope she reunites with her lover in death and the afterlife. I do follow a couple of lore YouTubers like Miss Liv and Ashikai, so shout out to them if you are interested in lore and the background story of Genshin. I mean, a bunch of them are just speculation, but you gotta find those interesting sometimes. Plus, I find some of the story quests really interesting, that's why I never skip them. I don't skip my story quests and Archon quests. I do feel sorry for the world quests, but there's so many of them I do skip a bit. I still read, I just skip some of it. If Genshin voice the world quest, I might actually don't skip them. I mean, if with voice I don't have to keep pressing, do I? It's just gonna autoplay. If you're gonna have me press on a button just so the screen move, I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip. I'm actually a pretty fast reader, so that tiny little paragraph probably take me like 3 seconds. And if I wait for it to load the next conversation, it's gonna take forever. So that's where I skip. Technically, I'm not skipping, I'm still reading, just really fast. That being said, I do have a lot of world quests hanging. I finished the Aranara quest like 50%. Then I got lazy to look for those Aranaras. Haha, Barbara is so good in this fight. Just how many characters can just stand there and take the blunt of the burning floor. I'm so glad her second phase is Pyro, otherwise I cannot use Barbara. That being said, I wish this boss stopped teleporting everywhere. She's not hard to fight, but she is so annoying by moving around, and the longer this fight goes, the more painful it becomes. That being said, this should be the end of it. Moving on to Raiden. Now this is the weekly boss I always use as my test ground. Recently I just triple crown Ali, so I'm gonna do a shorts on Ali beating this boss soon, just to show off. Anyway, Ali is my first triple crown character, and if I have my way, she's gonna be my first C6 character. Hopefully Tignari don't beat her to it. I love my furry little boy, but can I stop losing to him? I once joked that at this rate Tignari gonna be my first C6 5-star, but I certainly don't hope that become a reality. He's currently C4, let's keep it that way. Unless it's from the standard banner. Oh my god, I barely made that. Watching the replay, I actually realized that if Barbara were 1 second slower, she would have died. That was a little too close for comfort. Come on guys, let's not play around. At least I don't have to do any hopscotch because Barbara can heal through the pain, and everything else can be tanked with Noelle's shield. I wish I can say I end it here, but I don't think that's possible. The real issue with this team is really just damage. This fight actually took only 10 seconds longer than Signora, but because of how damage it felt like forever. I wish when we stun her she don't get a shield. That will be so useful. What's the point of stunning her if I cannot hit her because she has a shield? At this point it's just an endurance battle, because she can kill me. This is basically me chipping away at her HP. Her shield is so annoying. Goba is creating for 600. Normally I can do like 5000, 6000. Now they are doing triple digit elemental damage. This is so bad. And once again, I'm glad Barbara is on the team. Otherwise that would have killed 2 characters by now. Actually, I was hoping Lynette was on the team. She will be a good character as well as a main DPS. But like I said, I'm not going to change the character last minute. That wouldn't be the point of the challenge. I regret not getting Lynette because she will be so useful in Fontaine as well. Oh well, RNG is RNG. And this will finish it. And that marks the end of Inazuma for this team at least. Overall, I say the fights are okay. There are certain bosses that give us a bit of trouble, but nothing our team cannot get through. As usual, the next part Sumeru will be out on Wednesday. Even now, I'm already cracking my head on how to clear Scarlet Akasha Terminal. Especially with a team that have no height. I have the element available, but I can't hit the Akasha Terminals. Hopefully I figure something out by next week. If not, well, someone has to be a sacrifice then. Anyway, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it, and I really mean that. Even if you don't, I do appreciate the views. It's what keeps me motivated to make more videos. Anyway, I'm done rambling now. I'll see you guys on Wednesday in Sumeru. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye guys.